Yeah, that'd be about the only thing. Anyhow, it's about 8 o'clock. Hey, why don't we get started? Dave, thank you again for joining
Yes.
us, and happy Thanksgiving to you. And again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. This is the Sunday night webinar. It's November the 18th, and this is Web 110, 110. I'm Gene Colbago,
I'm Roger Carroll.
and this is a little different. I'm coming to you from near home, and Roger is a little bit away tonight.
I'm afar, yes.
Yes,
Not
afar.
that.
Well, at least a middle. anyhow, we're glad you're here. As I was saying, to get started, tonight, my portion, I don't know, for some reason I thought, maybe we'll do something a little bit lighter, give you some ideas, I hope. I'm trying to close the show here, and give you some ideas. And whoops, I'll need that later. Some of the ideas that you can use, one or two of them I may have mentioned. We have a lot of new people and some new ideas. So the first thing I'd like to show you is this. I just like to go, well, maybe I'll go back to this. This is a PowerPoint, and Microsoft is, as we've said from time to time, doing a lot to allow you to kind of personalize it, to get things going, set up the way you want. And one of the things that they have done, and one of the things that you can do, is you can add on some things. And we've talked about this some time ago, but there is a little thing. If you go to Insert and you go over to the middle, you'll see a little window square, whatever that thing is, called add-ins. And they seem to be getting more and more add-ins. And I guess just a little bit of a caveat before we begin. The add-ins are mostly third-party tools, extensions, whatever you want to call them, that have been kind of accepted by Windows. They are not, for the most part, created by Windows or Windows Garage or anything like that. There were one or two that I saw. And in addition, some of them do come with an extra charge. So I've tried to avoid those. But what I'd like to do, there are some good ones here, and I'd like to show you a couple and how you can personalize and maybe get a few little tools added in to your Office 365. And before I go on, I am in PowerPoint, and if I put an add-in in PowerPoint, if it will work in Word or any other program, it's automatically added in to that as well. There are a few that are specific to PowerPoint or Word or something like that that will not show up. But I'll just show you. These are the add-ins that I have added in. Okay? And most of these will show up in Word as soon as I add them. Okay? And they work pretty good. What you can do, first of all, is go to add-ins. I went to my add-ins, and you will at first probably not have any at all. So the admin managed is probably blank. But if you go to the store, you will find some categories. These are all of the add-ins, and you'll see that little may require additional purchase, and if it does say that, it generally does require an additional purchase. And in fact, there are a few that require an additional purchase that don't say it. So you have to be a little bit careful. And what I would like, suggest is, for example, Picket is one that I tried and then I found out. Okay, look, make beautiful present. It looks very, interesting. And right here, all images are licensed and free to use. Okay, but then if you go down to the information, somewhere in here it will say you can use them free for 1 week, and then you have to, here in the show more, there it is, try it free for 7 days and then subscribe. Okay, so just be careful. But there are a lot of great ones. Here's a couple of good ones that I would recommend. Here's a free picture finder, and let me just go to a, if I may, new slide. Let me close this off and add a new window here. And if I always hated when they did this, because I always wanted a nice blank screen, a blank one, and they never gave us one. So we always had to go to layout. Anyhow, if you want pictures, and these are generally free pictures. I know Bing works if you go to Insert Picture, but if you go to Insert, My Add-ins, and then Free Picture Finder, a little thing will open up over here, and it takes a few seconds, hopefully not too long. It's taking longer than I thought, maybe because of the internet, but you can, my goodness, it's taking a lot longer than I thought. Anyhow, okay, it does work, and it's really good. You can just type in type in a thing. It will bring a number of pictures. You can just drag them in. Maybe I just wonder if we could try it again, if it would come in any faster. But it is a really cool one, and I think it's because, there's a search. All right, let's try, I don't know, Niagara Falls. Wow, okay, there's a few Niagara Fallses, and you can just drag them, they usually drag right in. I double clicked on it and it added it right in. Okay, so it's kind of a nice little add-in, and it's very quick, okay, that you can use. Another one that I liked is called the Pixton Comic Characters. Let me close off this one, otherwise things get, again, I have to close this and close this. This one I liked for, I'm going to click on this up here, and then it will do a little, I don't know, it leads you through a little process that you can pick this, then pick an outpick, pick a pose. Okay, so you pick a picture. Okay, there he is. Okay, then you pick the person, say, in an outfit with a pose. Do you want this? You could put the text right in there if you want. Okay. Okay, and I'm not going to do that right now, but you insert the character, and there it is over here on your screen. If you wanted to, now I've got two of them because I clicked it twice, but you could then go and put a little text box in there and put whatever you want. Nice little add-in, okay? These are things that are not built into your PowerPoint or Word or whatever, but you can add them in as you go along. Let me get another new slide here, because Raj and I have often talked about this next item, and I like this a lot. Let me go down to this slide. See this slide here? Here's a QR, and if you have your phone, you can click on that real quickly, and it will open a document for you, which is also available for download on your little control pad there. And it will have what I'm going over tonight: how to do add-ins. It has a list of some of my favorite add-ins, and this is one of them. This was a QR, and basically there are several there. The one I found best was Office QR, and just click on it, and it will allow you to do a QR for a number of things. And I thought that was pretty cool. There are a couple others in there that will only allow web pages, web addresses, but this one you can, email, a phone number, things like that. So you might want to, it's very, very easy for a web address. All right, there it is. Okay, there it is. Let me go to a blank. Okay, it says copy. Sometime it'll copy it for you, and sometime it asks you to do it yourself, and there it is. Okay, and if you clicked on that, if you have your phone out, you will probably go to Google. Another one. The last one that I really wanted to show you, and this is kind of a cool one, I'm going to go to my Word. And by the way, if you download the document that's on you, that I uploaded for you, it's this page, and it has the directions for add-ins in case you go, how the heck did he do this? And these are some of the ones that I found useful. Also, Raj, Wikipedia. Notice if I go here, notice right up here, Wikipedia is listed. Is that listed automatically now, or is that because I put it as an add-in? Do you know?
Well, let me open Word and tell you real
would you
quick.
please?
Yeah. I'll let you know. Keep talking.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Anyhow, cancel this. Okay, but these are some of the ones that you might find. Now, this translator is from Microsoft, and it is built in to your ribbon. But in case you want to get to it real quickly, you can put it up here. Now, the one thing, let's see, I think, did I have it? Where is it? Okay, I have another page. We always talk about word clouds. And usually you have to go to a website to create these guys. And it's pretty simple, actually. What I did was I went and found what you need is a list of words. So I went and found a 4th grade vocabulary list, supposedly online. So, and to create from a list a word cloud is relatively easy with this guy. And if you install this Pro Word Cloud in Word, it will also be in your PowerPoint. So double click on this, it opens up over here. It opens up. Now, you'll see that you have a choice of texts, which are pretty cool. Some of them are nice. I'm just going to pick one real quick. The colors, these are pretty dark. So let me just pick something, I don't know, I don't want to, celebration. Okay, layout mostly horizontal, intelligent case, that means capital or lowercase letters. Here is the size. Okay, now what you have to do is next copy the words and then hit create word cloud, and there it is. It creates a word cloud pretty quickly. And then you can just hit, control copy. I don't know if it's going to paste it here, how it's going to paste it, maybe on the next page. There it is. Okay, pretty simple. And it would be a nice little tool for kids, I think, that, they could play with, with the names and things like that. They can create some pretty cool things. So that's another little thing that, you might want to do. And what I recommend finally is that, you go to the add-ins and browse through them, and you may find more that are useful to your particular case. Like I said, many of them were not good for me, so I didn't put them on. You'll notice that that one picture character maker is not here because it will not work in Word. It only works for PowerPoint. Okay? Anyhow, add-ins for Office 365. And hey, while I'm at it, I kind of got a couple of little tools on this sheet too that you might want tips for Office 2010 if you would, that might be useful to you. Okay, and I think I put 5 or 6 there. They're pretty good, and one of them I liked especially. Number one, over here, if you're trying to get to certain places, sometimes it gets a little difficult. But if you go over to the Windows icon in the lower left and right click, you'll find a list of different directions, places, things you can do, settings. You can get to search, run, you can shut down, you can get to your desk, all kinds of things. That system to set up, and might be a quick way. So in case you don't know, you need to get there quickly, right click there. That was the first thing. The next thing that some people are maybe not aware of, Raj has mentioned something last week about using multiple desktops. And what are we talking about here? Anyhow, over on your toolbar, there is a little thing here called a task view. It's changed in the last year, I believe, right, Raj?
Yes.
Yeah, and now when you get this, it has a time view also. You'll see that this is this, and over here, if you pull this down, these are programs and documents that I have been using in the last few days. So if you go, what was I doing? Where was I? What was I using? And you can see that, like earlier today, I was working on an Excel, okay, and some things like that. It's kind of a cool thing. And yes, Roger, were you going to say something, or am I just getting feedback? Okay.
I think you're getting feedback.
Okay.
Was not about to speak.
Okay. Anyhow, Raj had mentioned, sometimes when you have all kinds of things going on down here, maybe you don't want to close them all off, but you need a fresh start. You can go up here and get a completely new desktop. And you can have things running here that won't be running on this desktop. You actually have 2 desktops. It's almost like you're running maybe 2 computers, so to speak. Okay? So that's where that is. try it out. See how it works. Just something to play with. Also, fun time, Raj. Down here, we've talked about Cortana before. And we've talked about the fact it says hi, that it has a microphone. I hope this will work because it's my microphone's connected to the webinar right now. But I hope Cortana will understand me. Okay? Cortana, roll the dice.
Double twos.
Okay. Roll die.
You rolled a 4.
I don't know if you can hear me, or hear her, but she tells me what it says. Okay? Flip a coin.
Heads.
Okay? And if you're really, really bored, rock, paper, scissors.
Paper.
Okay. Okay. I think I just wasted a couple of minutes, didn't I, Raj?
How bored do you have to be?
Okay. But I don't know why they built them in there, but they're there. But also, in case you hadn't seen this, open Microsoft Word 2016.
Okay. Starting Microsoft Word 2016.
Cortana will do certain creations, okay? And it's kind of cool, okay? You can do certain things using Cortana. So you might want to play with the audio version of Cortana. Another thing is voice recognition. I know that on my office, I do have a dictate. Let me go to a new page here, a file. Let me just get a new file if I can here. New blank document. Okay, I have a dictate over here, but in case you don't, if you hold down the Windows and type a letter H, okay, you'll notice up at the top of my screen there is a microphone. And you can click it. Now, if I start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hello, 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 period. New line. Okay? That will allow you to do that. And it's a pretty simple command. It's just Windows and the H command. And again, that's on that document in case you need it. If you say, hey, what was that voice recognition command? And you can use that in your email. If you have an email, I use it in an email that is not a Microsoft product. It works on just about any product that you want to type on. So that will work as a nice little voice recognition thing. Okay. Lastly, Raj and I, let me minimize this. Get down here. Raj and I like this little thing called the snipping tool. Okay. Pretty good. But now, sometimes it takes a little longer. You have to open it, and then you click on new and so forth. If you're in a hurry, okay, there's a pretty fast way you can get a picture of a screen or a part of a picture of a screen, something that's on your screen. You want that. First of all, you need to have the Windows Inkspace open. And if it's, look at your operating system, you're down here, your toolbar. If it's not there, just go here and click on Show Windows Ink Workspace Screen. And then when you click on it, one of the options will be screen sketch. And if you click on that, your screen kind of does this, and you can go up, click on this if you want just a little part of it. You can then do that, click on apply, and then it looks like nothing happens. You can, if you want to save it, you can save it here, but it has been copied. Okay, now you can just go to a I'm just going to throw it. See, it's right there. Very quick way to copy something from your the screen of your computer, okay? So that's also on that sheet if you want. It's a screen sketch, and it's very, very easy. You can try, that. It works very easy. If you just want to take a quick clip of the entire screen, you can hold down, and again, it's the last command, Windows, Shift, S. Okay, notice how my screen turned kind of light. I can go up here, do that, my screen goes away. There's the picture that I just took. Okay, that's a quick way of doing it too. A real quick command. Again, Windows Shift S. And again, other ways instead of the snipping tool. The snipping tool is a great thing, but these are a little bit quicker. So thought I'd run those by you. Raj, and with that, I'm going to shut up. Again, recommend if you want any of those little tools or get any of those, you say, hey, I want them, don't forget to download that little handout that we have that we put up there for you. Okay, Raj, thank you for putting up with me, and it's all yours.
Okay, not sure where to begin.
I think we start that every week there.
Yeah. Well, for a while back, I think maybe it was last season or last semester, you used to start off with a series of little snips. So I was cruising around and found a nice resource for them. I went through a whole bunch of math ones. In fact, I could even show you the list, but I kind of like this one especially. In this day and age, when people are stumped at the cash register, if you throw them a dollar bill and some change, they don't know what to do. Well, how to back out of it and so on. One of the things I did want to talk about tonight, and we teased you with it a little bit last week, is this a marriage maybe between Flipgrid and Microsoft. Flipgrid used to be a standalone tool. It was gaining a lot of use, a lot of popularity. It was free, but it was somewhat limited in its support. But it was fairly popular. I'm going to oversimplify it, I'll show you a quick demonstration, all of which was a home brew of the demonstration. Very simply, you as a teacher in your classroom, and it can be used at any grade level. I'm not sure of what the technical capabilities are around the district. Students, in order to participate, need to sit in front of a device that has a keyboard-facing camera on it. I think the newer devices do. I'm not sure what's going on around the district with some of the older devices, but I think all the newer ones will have a front-facing camera. So it's a way of sharing out. We talked about some of the capabilities of OneNote and Student Voices and some of these other really potentially very useful tools. Flipgrid is a little unique in that if you're looking for student response and student feedback, you get that in the way of a snippet of a video of the student responding to a prompt that you as the teacher have provided to your class. And I'm going to take you to Flipgrid right now. It's flipgrid.com. It's a free account, and you get both access. You can see both dashboards, but as an educator, you get to create a Flipgrid. And a Flipgrid is just simply a video prompt that you post, kind of like a blog post in a way. It's maybe a visual blog, and students then can respond to it. And they're adding to its capability right along. This is something very new. It's called a guest code. If right now you're looking at it, if you can see, let me blow it up for you. That's the guest code for this specific Flipgrid. And if you copy that down, go to your Flipgrid, put in the code, and here it is. Here it's a live link because I could go to it, and this is what the students would see. I'll show you that in a second. When you create the grid, and I'll take you through a little bit of that. Really, it's quite intuitive. It took me a while playing with it because there are some options you can add. Here I added a little image on it. You could add selfie stickies. You could add emojis. You can do some things to dress it up a little bit. And depending on the sophistication and age group of the students you're working with, you might want to do that just to engage them a little bit more in a conversation. But if we click on this, I'm going to click on it, and you can see it as a student. So I've made the video. This is what the students will see. Okay, there is the prompt. If I press this, and in fact, if you go to that guest code, you'll see this. It's a short recording of me, or you if you're doing this, posing a question to your students. And the question I put out there was, in your classroom, what technology do your students enjoy using the most? So if this was directed to you as teachers, but yeah, obviously you'd change this a little bit for your students. What technology do you most enjoy in the classroom? And then the students would click on the little plus button here, and then they would log in. I'm logging in as myself here. And they log in using their login. And what this now does, and here I am down in below ground doing this live, what I would then do is, or your students would then do is, you could see the red record button, and you could then record, or the students would then record themselves in response to the prompt. The nice thing about it is they can do it over and over again. I'm going to just do one real quick. It does a little quick countdown. Now it's recording me saying what I am saying to you. And if I don't like it, I can then next. The nice thing here is, I'm going to pause this, is you saw the little action buttons here. It was buzzing in my ear. I'll do it again so you can see what's going on in the bottom of the screen here. I'm going to redo it. Notice one of the options. You have to play with it. Here I can add stickies. I can add, if I want, I can add, there, how's that? I can dress it up. The students can do that. Then I can redo this. And it's going to, you can do a snapshot. You have a number of options with this. You're sure you want to cancel. Yeah, I want to cancel that and go back. But I urge you, I'm going to go back to my Flipgrid screen here and urge you to play with it as a student. You copy down this guest code, 5 lowercase c 300 lowercase e d a. Go to Flipgrid and respond to this, and you'll see firsthand what that experience is. And this is very easy to share. You don't need any extra devices in your classroom. The kids could use probably the built-in microphone, or if you have headsets. As I mentioned at the start of the webinar tonight, I'm using the earbuds and the microphone built into my iPhone for my headset and microphone tonight. So all of that would work with this. I also included a handout. In fact, if you recall last week's webinar, one of the handouts I gave you was the teacher's guide to using Flipgrid. So I urge you to take a look at that. Gene, a question. When you put the video from last week's or any of the week's webinars up and you put the handouts, do you include handouts with the posting on the TRC page? Gene? No. I looked at it. I didn't see it. I think since we provide handouts within the webinars.
Raj, I'm sorry, I had muted myself and I was talking to myself. Yes, I did. And
so you repost the handouts.
Yes, and by the way,
Okay,
I think
excellent.
I just submitted a Flipgrid to you.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go back and I'll look at it and we'll share it if you don't mind.
And I think it's acceptable. No, it's really bad.
Exceptional?
No bad words.
Oh, you think it's exceptional?
Yeah, well, it's
Okay.
it's there.
Okay. I did one. I had to use. Let's see. Here it is. There we are. There are now 2. There you go. Thank you very much for participating.
It's very easy to do.
It really is. You're sitting in front of your screen. It's all built in there. Now, I, as the teacher, would pull up yours. Let's say here it is, and now I can see. There you go.
It's very short.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
I just wanted to make a whole bunch of faces.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was a unique experience thinking back on it. I don't know how many takes it took for me to get exactly what I wanted to say out there.
Yeah.
One problem I had, and it'll be fun doing this with your students, is where do you look when you're doing this? It's kind of like the selfie thing. It's exactly what it is. In fact, one of the options within the Flip response is the students can take a selfie snapshot using their computer screen, the camera on it, to create that. Then it can be decorated and so on. But then you get the responses back. Notice, again, you're looking at my dashboard as the teacher, what different actions I can take with a response. I can duplicate a response. I can do a number of things with it. There's some really interesting capability on the Flipgrid main page. I'll take it back there. Let's see if we can go back here. I'm going to confirm that. Go back to my Flipgrid. I'm getting some feedback, and I'm getting a little bit of delay there. I don't know what's going on with that.
Might be the internet. Roger, you there?
Oh, it could well be.
I think they turn it off.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Maybe they turn it off in there at 9 o'clock.
They might. I am in Baldwin still.
Yes.
I created this is a general grid. And then I have these topics. Each time, you don't have to create this over and over again. This is my Flip Code, the Sunday webinar. And then I can create topic after topic after topic, or I can create a whole separate grid if I like. And one of the things that, well, I get it. I say it's very intuitive. It has a lot of options, and they're building more and more options into it. If I create a new topic, this is my input screen where I can give it a title. I can decide how long I can give the students to respond to a topic. Notice the up and down arrow. I can make it as little as 15 seconds. Or, my goodness, 5 minutes is, full production values here for that. I think I just generically knowing that 45 seconds is a fairly long time for a fairly simple topic. And you can do a number of things. You can really dress it up. Here is a text editor and so on as we keep going down. As I say, keep going down the screen here. You can decide on whether it's a public or a private. You can upload videos. I think it's growing in capability since Microsoft has actually. I think Microsoft bought Flipgrid. A lot of the Microsoft news and things that I'm seeing is about Flipgrid and how it's used. Again, all different grade levels. Students can be prompted through it. You can do it if you want a students. They've read a story and share a reaction to the story and share it out. Everybody, you can do a number of. The most recent addition to it is, as I hear, is the what they call the guest.
Raj, you seem to be fading out. Are you there? Oh dear.
To
Roger, we are.
the top.
I can't hear you. You seem to have been
Create.
fading. Roger, just fading in and out.
So if you
Can't hear you, Raj.
everybody to the put in that code and share it.
Raj, we missed about half a minute. You seem to be fading out the last half minute.
I may be with you in a second. In case I don't have the internet.
Oh boy. Okay, that's what's happening. Boy, that was me last week. Are you still there? You're probably not. We're going to wait for.
I am.
Now you're back. Yeah, this is what happened to me last week.
Okay.
Why don't you continue?
Well, again,
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of support and ideas for Flipgrid if you just did it as a topic on the internet, or if you go into Flipgrid, there are a number of resources available, how-tos, and so on. I urge you to try it. Use that guest code.
Yeah.
If you copied it down, let me see if that's the actual.
Yeah. The five. I can. I wrote it down here somewhere.
Here it is.
Yes.
The guest code. Yeah, use
that's
your
it.
snippet or your other tool and grab it.
Yeah.
Guest code, the 5C300
EDA. Yeah.
EDA. The EDA is the guest code extension. If you notice on the previous screen, it didn't have. So this is the new guest code. Also, I'm going to click on.
Yeah, and then Roger, I have
This
before
might
you do
here,
that,
see.
can I ask you one quick question?
No.
Down at the bottom, if you scroll down. No.
Sure.
Maybe if you scroll down. I screwed that up.
Left the screen.
Okay. What we have seen, and the point I was trying to make, you have up there a green plus when a student logs on, they'll see Hermione G, and I suspect that's you, and then a
Yes.
green circle with moderated,
It
which
is.
means that the teacher has to okay it, right? Before it's shown,
Yes.
which is a good thing. And you
Note
have,
over here, activity, active or inactive.
yes, yeah, I was just going to say, we don't see, that,
I,
and you don't have to okay it, the mine, because you have not okayed it yet to make it active.
okay.
Oh, there's Dave, and there, okay.
Right. So
See,
now I have.
and now, oh yes, now
Yes. Thank you, Dave.
I can see
And he put
Dave's,
a.
and I can
He,
see
he
my,
dressed it up a little bit.
yes,
There he is.
you know what, I was going to use that same hat, Dave. Okay, but yeah, if you put this app on your phone, you'll see the exact same thing, and then you see the green plus, which will allow you to do it. And yeah, yeah. And Dave, you did record a response. I see it.
Correct. I looked at it briefly.
Yeah, and I can.
And then, I mean, you have a number of options. Go ahead, and I highly recommend that you, say, mess around with this.
Yeah.
I think it's got great potential for sharing. My question, and Dave, you can jump in here. The devices in your classroom, I'm not sure, I think I might have asked this before, whether or not they have a keyboard-facing camera
Does anybody
on
know
the devices
if they
for a
could
student to
raise
do
your
this.
hand or send us a message, maybe? Yeah, if anybody knows if the
Yeah, again, if the
go ahead.
device that you have in your classroom does have a front-facing or a keyboard-facing camera, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, you'd have to do that. But if it is, it's incredibly easy,
That's
and I
pretty
think the
essential.
kids would like to see them. Again, question, Raj.
Yeah.
Before you posted those, would there have to be a permission slip involved?
That's a great question.
I don't mean a specific
I
one,
would want
but that
someone with a
but
higher
that
pay grade.
one, that is sent in, I guess.
Right, since they're not out on the internet.
Uh-huh.
This is all within your class, not accessible outside the walls of your class. But it's a good question.
But anybody who got that code could do it, though.
Yeah, if you make it public.
Yes.
Notice I had to sign in when I went there. It asked me for my office sign in.
Oh.
So that would be what the students would be prompted.
Okay.
to do what
Okay.
they-
I
when they
was
sign
not
in.
asked to sign in because I was probably already signed in. Yeah. Okay.
That could be. Yeah. Here's the list. This is kind of fun. This is the dashboard.
Yeah.
And it's showing me all the responses I'm sure that would build, and so on as we go through. But again, I think this is interesting. A different way to get some feedback from kids is a different way to share topical things. You could pose a quick question and have students respond to it. Like I say, if it's in regards to a story or a passage they're reading, and share it out that way. Among the other things that we do have at our disposal for collaborating and sharing with kids and so on. I might want to turn now, Gene, unless there's any more. Anybody have any questions
Just
out
one
there?
final thought. I noticed, you mentioned.
Dave is answering the question. He says he thinks his devices have that.
Okay.
He says front-facing camera.
Okay. But
guessing he means keyboard facing.
many of the kids have their own personal devices that they bring to school. The app, I just put it on my phone and it works beautifully. They could even access it through that if they couldn't use the school computer.
Well, I think when you set up the initial Flipgrid, the top,
Yeah.
there are a number of on-off switches and questions that you ask, you're asked to set regarding a particular Flipgrid. I was thinking of sharing it with maybe some grandchildren and so on, so I didn't turn all of those on.
I see.
But like when you share it, when you create a grid in the first place, with that. But there's lots of help.
Oh yeah, and it was very simple.
Oh yeah, and duplicate. I mean, you've got they've made it very very accessible. I think to use in the class. It'd be fun to try. You know.
You said the key word.
Let's try
fun.
something different.
You said fun. Yeah, and I think it'd be a great way to respond to a question rather than maybe writing.
Sure. And exactly. And here you've got your gray-haired old teacher giving you a prompt, but you can do it in any number of ways as well as so you can upload a video and have that as a prompt as well, one of those other options. So it's worth, I think, exploring all the different possibilities with that. I want to totally shift gears here. We got a few minutes left, and this is something that we're probably going to want to explore in greater depth in the future webinars, perhaps even a workshop. But what I wanted to do was explore some of the more potent features for using Microsoft Teams. And we haven't talked about it in any depth other than allude to the fact that it does exist. And over here on your app bar, this is called the left rail, by the way. And this is becoming, and I noticed this week at a couple presentations I sat in, Gene, this is looking like a new toolbar for a lot of Microsoft products. As they add to them and so on. Within the Power School, there was an app bar here. But one of the things I want to talk about briefly is the assignments feature for Teams and for OneNote. You can set up an assignment, and we've talked about this in a couple other programs. I think you schedule it and so on, but this, not like a test, but this is an actual assignment. So,
and again, you're starting to fade out, Raj.
you have the assignments. Oh dear.
Yeah, you're fading out.
It's slow. As you can see, this is pretty slow.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Am I back?
You're back.
Is it back?
Yes.
Okay.
You have not turned in that Amazing Grace. That is the one I posted.
I guess not. Okay. I haven't. Notice it's
past due.
Past due.
Yeah.
Today is an assignment called theme that I created called PD Day. This is an assignment. You found an article students would read, and then have to react to it. You might recognize this, Gene.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
For credit within the webinars, way of reacting to the reading of and it's followed by a template. But what is really added on to all the capability here is that assignments to be in late, how many points it's worth, but you can add a rubric to the assignment. And once the assignments once the assignments are completed, I then, as a teacher, would use that same rubric to grade the responses. Once I've completed an assignment, I can then assign it And the assign it to a whole group of students. You can assign it to a single student. You can assign it to a group, again, your class at large, and so on. But it took me out of that. I want to show you very quickly what it means to create an assignment. No, we're running out of time here. I want to create or from an existing assignment. You can take anything. They're never lost once you create them. They're all saved automatically. And as you can see here, they are kept chronologically. So if I want to create a new assignment from an existing assignment, I can find this, and then I can pick it, modify it, reassign it, and so on. I'm going to, oh, here's the next. I'm going to go back. I don't want to do that. I'm going to cancel that. Just take another look at this assignment. But what I wanted to see was the rubric. What's really nice about this, it's a collaboration with some grade level teachers. Take an existing rubric that's out there, Engage New York, all of what's out there, or the local exams, and so on, and bring those rubrics into your realm with in your teams and your notebooks. And then once you create the rubric, you can point. And so, and as you go through, it'll be easier to say completed and submitted assignment, how then you points on the rubric for the components of, was it proficient, or was it distinguished, or some elements and so on, and those all have point value. And then once you've completed the group, the assignment gets turned back to the student to review with the rubric. In fact, you as the teacher can add to the grading by putting in, you can actually voice in some comments. You can use some of the, as you showed earlier with some inking, you can write and respond to the particular aspect of a response from a student where it needed to be improved, and allow them to redo it and resubmit it. So you have this is something I think we're going to see a lot more about, because as we move through the school, like practicing for the ELA and so on, I wanted to go to, if you go to Engage New York and start looking up some of what's out there already contained in their database, you can find existing ELA passages for any of the grade levels, accompanied by rubrics and so on, that you can just bring over into this and reuse, change them up, anything that you like from time to time. But this deserves a closer look. Notice some of the parameters here. You can allow it to be turned in late. You can allow students to redo it, resubmit it, and why not? You want them to get it right. For ELA, social studies, you can put whole passages in here that they have to, and put in multiple choice questions. You can do a number of things as an assignment over and above what you're able to do if you're using Microsoft Forms for quick quizzes and quick formative assessment tools, and so on. So this has a lot of potential, I think, for use. Put in your comments on tonight's webinar if you want to know more about it. We'll be taking a closer look at it in future webinars, just how easy it is to create these rubrics. And then once you've created them, they're already there. You don't have to redo them every time. You can just tailor them to a specific assignment. So I urge you to take a look at that. Again, it's very intuitive. There are videos online from Microsoft that show you how to do this a step at a time, that are very useful. Very easy to use as well. So, Gene, I think we got a minute to go. That's about it.
And we have that minute we can use.
Again.
Yeah, you have been, but we understand that, and thank you. I hope everybody will take a look at Flipgrid, and if you're interested, put that in your comments. You'll get the thank you for attending the webinar email, and inside there is that survey we wish you would respond to. Let us know, because Raj and I, well, we had been thinking about maybe starting in December offering a few after-school webinars here and there if people are interested in certain topics. If you're interested in Flipgrid, or we were thinking of Sway and Forms, things like that. If you're interested in those, please.
Possibly even a hands-on if
Sure,
there was enough
sure.
interest.
Absolutely,
Get together
yeah.
in the training room and
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, please let us know, and we can do that. So, and with that, we'll say good night. Thank you. Have a great Thanksgiving, a nice, relaxing couple of days. And we won't see you next Sunday, but hopefully in December, we'll have the page up for registration very soon this week.
yeah, for a couple of them anyway.
Mm-hmm. And with that, if there are no further comments, good night, Raj. Good night, everybody. And again, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. Good night, everyone. Have a great Thanksgiving.